All right, all right. We are back with another show.
Creators.
I want to talk about being a creator in this new environment. And so I asked a good friend of mine. She's an actress. She's a producer. She's a playwright. She's a director, and she just became a producer of a new play that's coming out. But I'm gonna let her tell it. I'm gonna tell it. So let's put your hands together for Miss Carla Stillwell. Let's give her a clap. Hey, Carl, how are you doing? How are you doing? So, yes.
I am blessed in the Lord and highly flavored.
Flavored.
I'm here with you,
All
my
right.
friend. How are you?
Seasoned and everything.
Flavored.
Thank you.
I'm seasoned.
First
I'm
of all, I
ready.
want to let everyone know I was introduced to Carl. It had to be about 12 years ago when I even heard of Carl. I didn't even know who she was.
Oh, yeah.
And she was doing all of this stuff, and someone introduced me. In fact, Catrice introduced me to you, and that's how we got hooked up. I was doing another show back then. Yeah, you remember? In fact, I was doing this before they were even thinking about doing this years ago, and everyone.
You sure were.
And everyone was like, thought I was crazy. They were like, no one's gonna be doing no video podcast, interviewing people. And next thing you know, 10 years later, look, everyone is doing it. So, I want you to talk about your new gig, but I want to talk to you about this whole thing of creators. Because from your background, from being a playwright, from being a director, from being a producer, I'm starting to see creators move from this realm of just having an everyday conversation to now they're developing skits. They're developing these little monologues that they're performing for people. And I want to get your thoughts of like that the new, I call it the new generation, because you've done it, you've been there, you tried and true, but how do you move that into mainstream? Okay, give it to me. Don't hurt me now. Don't hurt me, because I've seen you. I've seen you on the newsreel. I've seen you on the newsreel. I saw you. So
All right, so let me preface this conversation with what I'm going to say. And I promise you're going to be shocked. You're going to be stunned. I need everybody to leave me alone. I am busy. I am busy talking to my friend.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So here's tea. Here's tea. I started acting when I was 10 years old, and that was 38 years ago. Doing the math. I am an actor, a playwright, a director. I was the artistic director of Impact Theater here in Chicago. I was with the company for 22 years, 22 seasons, and I was the artistic director the last 5, 6, 7 years I was there. I don't remember. It was so long. And that's when I met you.
Yes.
Then I left Impact and I was like, I'm just going to be an independent artist. And then that didn't work for me. So, because I like to be in community with people. So I started my own organization, the Stillwell Institute for Contemporary Black Art, in 2018. And so my institute, we just the long and the short of it is we believe art is a human right, and we go get money from wherever we can to give to Black artists in Chicago to create art for art's sake, just to do with no strings attached, no agenda, because any art a Black person creates is Black art, and it is important and it is necessary for the history. And then as I was continuing to work as a playwright, I started working with an organization called Collaboration Theater, and they are a social justice theater company. And I started doing some work with them, writing some plays and stuff. And they offered me a position inside the organization as a producer. And so that's what you are congratulating me on, because that was the press release. So I am the producer for the organization. That means I go out and hire folks and artists, and we everything we do is around equity and inclusion and diversity and freeing the nation from her racial identity. Having said all of that.
So I have a question, a real question.
And then
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just have a quick question.
No, you.
Because I know you're hiring people. Okay, be real. Because I like to keep it real. And do people come prepared? Do they just show up at your door? Hey, you know what? Here's the script. Do they come up? They come with the headshots, or do they just show up?
Here's the thing. And there's levels to this thing. I said all that to get to your point, your question.
All right.
So there's levels to this, right? And I'm going to give an answer that you don't expect me to give.
Okay.
I'm certain you don't.
Okay.
I don't actually mind that this generation of content creators has decided to use my trained discipline as a way to reach their audiences, because there is a void there. Because the only time new things come up, the only times things are invented or begin, is when there's a community that feels like they're not being spoken to and there's a void.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who is a creator, if they are able to, if they're really in tune, they can identify what their audience needs. So let me tell you where the void is.
All right.
So the reason we had Shelley Garrett and we had Tyler Perry is because there was a void. There were Black people that did not feel like the theater was for them. They didn't understand what theater was and how they fit into it. They thought it was white. And so these creators started creating content specifically for a particular type of Black audience. That audience is starting to feel that audience is our age now, right? And they're getting a little tired of the trope. And the younger audience isn't buying that product anymore. They're starting to see the problems. As there is more media, people are getting more sophisticated in what they feel they deserve as audience. Mm-hmm. And an in-tune, smart creator is going to go, well, I don't like the Tyler Perry stuff no more. I don't think certain things are funny anymore. My audience, these people like me, so they feel the same way. So I'm going to give the people what they want. I'm going to give the people what I would want to have if I were the people. This is where this is coming from. So it doesn't offend me.
Okay.
It does. I think it is filling a void.
Okay.
An entertainment void. I watch a lot of, in my spare time, everybody has things that they watch to be in the background. And I watch a lot of YouTube and a lot of the gossip bloggers, right?
Yes.
And there's one blogger I watch occasionally, Tasha K.
Yep.
And Tasha K has started doing all of these sketches in her. And again, I get it. She's of that generation. She's, I think, 40-ish. Mm-hmm. So she's found that this doesn't serve her anymore. So she wants to do something new and give the people something different. Okay. So she is entertaining her fan base. And I actually think it's brilliant. Mm-hmm. I don't think it interferes. I used to be very angry about the Shelley Garretts and the Tyler Perrys. Okay. Because I was leaning into a white Western ideology about what theater was and the training that you needed. And how dare you bastardize this art form that I have worked so hard to learn. Mm-hmm. And in my own anti-racism training, my internal colonized mind, I had to do some work on that.
Okay. Okay.
That's those critiques were my internalized colonialism.
No, but you know what?
The
The
truth of the matter
interesting thing,
is,
though, I've noticed how they've changed. They started out raw, and they started as they got as they moved along. You start seeing the trained art come along. You start seeing that they realize, oh, I need this discipline. I need to go back and put some of that back in there. So as I progress and as I get better and as my fan base grow, I can now provide a different array of content. That's what I'm starting to see now.
Because they have noticed, because they saw what happened to the Perrys and the Shelley Garretts. They did not grow with their audiences. So they're losing their audience. Now, will TP lose his money? He got a lot of money now. I don't know. And he's got some diehard fans. Now, I don't think he's gonna go dry or nothing, but there's been a shift.
Yes.
Away from that type of content.
Yes.
The numbers show it on the OWN network.
Okay. See, I was gonna go there.
Listen, I think that I think this is all brilliant. I think what's going on is wonderful. I think this is the magic of the internet and what YouTube and TikTok. And I think that's the magic of what these things have become. It has opened up people's experience.
Okay.
The reason the content and the quality is changing and getting better quicker is because people get to see what it looks like when it's done well. There's enough people doing it. There's enough people like me who have been trained that just get on like, oh, well, I could make millions of dollars sitting in my house doing on YouTube.
Now
it's enough.
That's my thing. Are you, to me, I'm excited to see that a creator who's 25, 26, like you said, can jump on the internet, get a fan base, and then become a millionaire. Because back in the day, when you were going out there, you was hitting those doors, you didn't have that avenue to be able to produce your own content and own it and own your own content. So what do you think about this whole monetization for creators?
It's amazing. I support the whole situation. I'm trying to figure out when I get to have some time to sit up in my house and just be Carla Stillwell for 4-5 hours a day and make money. I love it. I think that this is the best, most effective, important way that we have been able to decolonize art.
Wow.
I think that as people of color, specifically Black people, because I don't try to speak for everybody else, but I think that this opportunity to decolonize art, take the power away from these white establishments and create and own your own work and your own content. Let's talk about Lil Nas X for a second.
Oh boy.
I don't care how you feel about this.
Okay. Okay. You know what? Here's okay.
But let's talk about how he made this money.
Let's okay. Putting everything aside, right? I respect him as an artist and a creator because he took something and realized there was an audience out there who wanted to see it, and he went. He went all the way. He said, "If I'm going to do it, I'm going to jump all the way in, both feet, arms, legs, everything, and I'm going to do it."
But this is how he started. He wouldn't have had this opportunity. He was a 15-year-old boy.
Yes.
I think he was a Nicki Minaj fan, or I forget. Yep. He used to follow one of these high profile artists and created a fan page that got so much attention that he was able to morph that into a personality for himself.
Yes.
In 10 years, this child, because a 15-year-old is a child, I don't care what the white news media tell y'all, he was a black boy. Because young black men are grown at 7 years old. Young black girls are grown at 12.
Oh,
so according to the news, you see, you always getting me started. Y'all people, y'all want me to start.
Go ahead.
But Lil Nas X, this young boy was able to monetize his life, support his family, and become a name brand. He was in a commercial, I think it's a Taco Bell commercial or a Grubhub commercial with Elton freaking John. He is cemented. That never could have happened for him before this era we're living in.
Yeah,
and I'm not getting into anybody's feelings about him, but I'm talking about from a marketing perspective, from a PR perspective, and from an ownership perspective. That money is in the black community, my friends. Those dollars, the fact that he could do it lets white studios and white producers know that there's money out here, because the argument has always been, well, that's not the fan base. Like, we have to, our fans were white and male.
No.
That's been the argument, that you can't create because don't nobody want to see it. But then Black Panther is the second best worldwide selling film. And now there's a Black Captain America, and there's like, it's all good, friends.
Exactly.
It's all good.
I saw, I don't know, have you heard of Country Wayne, right? Brother Atlanta started off doing some regular sits, some regular, he was a comedian, right? He trying to figure out, I got 10 kids, how do I pay for them? 10, how do I pay for them? So he started off doing regular old skits on Facebook, like you said, a fan page. And I've watched him for 3 years take a fan page of 100 people, move it up to like 400,000 or 500,000, monetize it, pay his kids to be in the skit, pay everyone. He and his character, he spun off characters who was making money. He took the same premise.
Kev on stage.
Yes. And I'm like, wow.
It's another one.
And so that's what I said. I really wanted your thoughts and opinions on this whole thing. But I want you to talk about Oh Colonizers. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's talk about it because it comes out January 6th. So we got to let people know. Push the button, push the button, push the button. But I do have one more thing for you. What do you think about what they're doing now, artists? Because it amazed me. So Cat Williams did a concert. Oh, I just went. Oh, sorry. See, there you go. See, he didn't want me to talk about Brother
Lord.
Man, and I love me some Cat Williams.
They don't even want you to talking about it.
They don't want me to talk about it.
Oh, I do too.
Okay, but he did something amazing. He threw a show, his new tour, in Dallas, and now you can, on Ticketmaster, you can buy tickets to the show, but he also streamed it live at the same time where you bought tickets. Amazing. I just like, you just took a whole new era in how you deliver content from an artist perspective. You know what I mean? So from Oh Colonizers. So I mean, so I want to talk about the show, but I just want to just like I know you guys are online. You're online. That's amazing.
Here's the thing. This is what the pandemic taught us, right? The pandemic taught us that we did not have to be held hostage as artists by theater venues and producers and big backers. The pandemic taught us that we could reach 3 times the number of people. And we didn't have to be held hostage to a $70 ticket price to cover somebody else's overhead.
There you go.
That we didn't have to be held hostage to printing presses and printing companies to cover the overhead for printed materials. We didn't have to be held hostage to this idea where we're charging $70 for this ticket. The show has to be 2.5, 3 hours so people feel like they were entertained. The window for shorter content, quick content, things people can consume in a moment and feel satisfied in their homes between doing other things for their family has become a gift to the artist. Oh Colonizers. So January 6, 2020, I was like, you honkies, y'all really gonna do this over this man that is occupying the White House and about to leave? So I wrote a play with collaboration called Orange Rope, or a funny thing that happened on the way to the Capitol. So we did it as a Zoom reading, and myself and my colleague Anthony Mosley, who is the artistic director at Collaboration, start talking about how can we like do a section of this as like a pilot for a web series. And so I took a section out and I called it Oh Colonizers. And so it is the pilot for a web series of a bunch of a few other shows. And this is the history, because people think January 6th happened in a vacuum, that it happened and it was a blip on history's radar. But the truth of the matter is, this started in 1865 when nobody was held accountable for the treason that was the South seceding from the Union.
Yes.
And after the Civil War, when they just let all the white people go, and then the white people could say they kind of won, but didn't really, and they could do Confederate reenactments and put up statues to fucking traitors, and sorry for the cursing, and fly Confederate flags like that's normal. It was treasonous. And the reason this open treason happened again is because they felt entitled. So I wrote I made a comedy about it called Oh Colonizers. So that's going to be January 6th. It's on Zoom. I hope you link people to the website, collaboration.org.
I will let people know.
And 7 p.m. January 6th, $6 for streaming. And we just gonna talk about it.
Wow. Well, again, hey guys, thank you. Hey, she busy, y'all. So I was ready to get this time on in, but she gotta come back. You gotta come back because I got a lot of conversations that we can have. We can get very real on, because someone needs to talk about it. And like I said, without the conversation, we cannot have the understanding. All right. Thank you there. Love it. Hey guys, we are out of here.
Thank you.
We are out. Come and listen, laugh, and link up on real life topics and subjects that matter to you here on the Conversation with Corinthus Austin.